Hi, this is Alfawzia Nihar from At Home Tuition. Welcome to our session today. The topic that we are going to discuss in our today's video is the coordinate plane. The coordinate plane was developed centuries ago and refined by the French mathematician Descartes. In his honor, the system is sometimes called as Cartesian coordinate system. The coordinate plane can be used to plot points and graph lines. This system allows us to describe algebraic relationship in a visual sense and also helps us to create and interpret algebraic concept. The coordinate plane consists of x-axis, y-axis, the number lines that intersect at right angles, and origin, the point where the x-axis and y-axis meet at. First one is the quadrant 1, 2, 3 and 4. I have taken an example. I have plotted a point. Describe the point shown as an ordered pair. So this is the example. Let us describe. 5, y. Begin at the origin and move along the x-axis. This is the x coordinate and is written first in the ordered pair 5, y. And then move from 5 up to the ordered pair and read the number on the y-axis. This is the y coordinate and it is written second in the ordered pair. The point shown on the ordered pair is 5, 2. So this is the description of the point shown as an ordered pair. Hope you're clear with this example. Now let's see plotting points on the coordinate plane. Note that now that you know how to use the x-axis and y-axis, you can plot an ordered pair as well. Just remember, both the process start at the origin, the beginning. This is called the beginning. Okay, I'm going to show you an example how to graph the ordered pair 1, 3. The x coordinate in the given pair is 1 because it comes first in the ordered pair. Start at the origin, move a distance of 1 unit in a positive direction. I mean to the right from the origin along the x-axis. Then the y coordinate. Y coordinate in the given question is 3 because it comes second in the ordered pair. From here you have moved 1 units to the right. From here move directly 3 units in a position in a positive direction upwards. If you look over the y-axis, you should be lined up with 3 on that axis. So if you move 3 units, it will be here. So this is the location of 1, 3. We have draw a point. Now let us label the point as 1, 3. That's it for this example. Both the x and y coordinates were positive in this example. Where one or both of the coordinates of an ordered pair is negative, you will need to move in a negative direction along one or both the axes. Okay, let me show you one more example for that one. Here is the next example. Plot the point in the coordinate plane. -4, -2. The x coordinate is -4 because it comes first in the ordered pair. Start at the origin and move 4 units in the negative direction. I mean left side along the x-axis. Then we can concentrate on the y coordinate. The y coordinate is -2 because it comes second in the ordered pair. Now move 2 units in the negative direction. See, even this is a negative number, so you should move in a negative direction, I mean downwards. If you look over the y-axis, you should be lined up with the -2 on that axis. So I'm drawing a point at this location. I'm going to label the point as -4, -2. Hope you're clear with this example. Okay, this is how we have to plot the points on the coordinate plane. Now let me list out these steps for plotting the point as a summarization. Determine the x coordinate. Begin at the origin. Move horizontally, the direction of the x-axis. The distance given by the x coordinate. If the x coordinate is positive, you have to move to the right. If the x coordinate is negative, you have to move to the left. So this would be your first step for plotting an ordered pair in the coordinate plane. As a next step, you have to concentrate on the y coordinate. Determine what is the y coordinate from the question. Beginning at the x coordinate, move vertically. Vertically means the direction of the y-axis, the distance given by the y coordinate. If the y coordinate is positive, you have to move up. If the given y coordinate is negative, you have to move down. After locating the position, draw a point at the ending location. Now you have to label the point with the ordered pair. So you have to name what is the given x and y coordinate for that point. This should be the final step for plotting a point. Please have a glance over these 3 points. You can note it down as a summarization of plotting a point. Okay, let me take another example and explain you. Here is the next example. Which point represents the ordered pair -2, -3? I have many points on the graph. You have to identify which point is representing this. Point A represents a positive x-axis and positive y-coordinate, and point B represents negative x-coordinate and positive y-coordinate, and point C represents negative x-coordinate as well as negative y-coordinate. So this point B has, okay, now point D. Point D represents +2 and -3. So among these points you have to identify which point representing this. So -2 and -3 both meet at the point C. Point C represents the ordered pair -2, -3. You should also be familiar with signs of convention, which I have discussed in the previous video, Introduction to the Cartesian Plane. You can refer that video too. Hope you're clear with this example. Now let's discuss about the characteristics of the 4 quadrants of a graph. Let us discuss about the 4 quadrants. Ordered pairs within any particular quadrant share certain characteristics. Please look at each quadrant in the graph. What do you notice about the signs of the x and y coordinates of the point within each quadrant? So this is the first quadrant. We have 3 points plotted on that quadrant. Now I am going to list out the names of the quadrant, and let me show that in a tabular form so that it will be easier for you to identify and give a quick revision on that. I am going to create a table with 4 columns: quadrant, general form of point in this quadrant, and the example that I'm going to pick that from this graph, and I'm going to describe each of the point. Okay. So within each quadrant, the signs of the x coordinates and y coordinates of each ordered pair are the same. They follow the same pattern, which I'm going to outline in a table. Here is a table with 4 columns. So the quadrants would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So what are the sign convention? General form of point in this quadrant. In the first quadrant, both x and y coordinate would be positive. In second quadrant, x coordinate would be negative and y coordinate will be positive. In the third quadrant, both x and y quadrant will be negative. Both the coordinates are negative in third quadrant. And in the fourth one, the first x coordinate will be positive and the second y coordinate will be negative. So for the first and third quadrant, the signs will be same. Second and fourth quadrant, the signs will be opposite. Let me take example from the given graph itself. So these are the numbers, both are positive. So they all lie in the first quadrant. Starting from the origin, go along the x-axis in a positive direction, along y-axis in a positive direction, upwards, right and up. So these are the 2 positive numbers. Same way on the third quadrant, all the numbers will be negative. Both x and y coordinate will be negative. So for this one, you have to start from the origin, go along the x-axis in a negative direction, I mean the left side, and along the y-axis in a negative direction, I mean downwards. So for second quadrant, first x coordinate will be negative and the y coordinates will be positive. Am I right? So starting from the origin, go along the x-axis in a negative direction left side and along the y-axis in a positive direction upwards. So for the fourth quadrant, start from the origin, go along the x-axis in a positive direction right side and along the y-axis in a negative direction downwards. I'm going to take one example and just change these signs. 3, 2. Both x and y coordinates are positive. So I'm going to change this. First one should be negative in the second quadrant. And both should be negative in the third quadrant. First x-axis, x coordinate should be positive and y coordinate should be negative. I have just changed the numbers according to the quadrant. Now let me explain. So for this one, start from the origin, go along the x-axis in a positive direction and along the y-axis in a positive direction. 3 units right side, 2 units upwards. And for the second quadrant, you have to start from the origin, go along the x-axis in a negative direction and along the y-axis in a positive direction. So you have to move 3 units left and 2 units upwards. For quadrant 3, for the third quadrant, both are negative. So you have to start from the origin on a graph, go along the x-axis in a negative direction and along the y-axis in a negative direction. So 3 units left and 2 units down. Hope you're clear so far. Now fourth quadrant. So on a graph sheet, you have to start from the origin, go along the x-axis in a positive direction and along y-axis in a negative direction. So move 3 units to the right and 2 units to the down. Hope you're clear with this concept now. Once you know about the quadrants in a coordinate plane, you can determine the quadrant of an ordered pair without even graphing, just by looking at the chart. Hope you're clear with this one. Now let us see what happens if an ordered pair has an x or y coordinate of 0. Okay, let me take an example. So I have taken an example 0, 4. A point located on one of the axes is not considered to be in a quadrant. It is simply on one of the axes. Whenever the x coordinate is 0, the point is located on the y axis. Similarly, any point that has a y coordinate of 0, it will be located on the x axis. So 0, 4 will lie on 4 y axis. It will not lie on any of the quadrant. Let me also show how to locate 4, 0. 4, 0 will not lie on any quadrant. Y axis, the y coordinate is 0, so it will lie on the x axis only. So 4, 0 will lie here. Hope you are clear with this example. The coordinate plane is a system for graphing and describing points and lines. The coordinate plane is comprised of a horizontal x-axis and a vertical y-axis. The intersection of these lines creates the origin, which is a point 0, 0. The coordinate plane is split into 4 quadrants. Together, these features of the coordinate system allows for the graphical representation and communication about points, lines and other concepts, algebraic concepts. Hope you're clear with coordinate plane now. Okay, see you in the next video. Have a great time ahead.